everyone, welcome to Pathfinders. Now you're probably watching this on catch up because it is beautiful outside. This weather has been amazing, so I hope you're getting lots of time outside. But if you're here right now, it is great to see you. And if you're watching on catch up, then hello as well. Jaden's here, brilliant. Hi Jade, I'm going to let people, oh Jack's here as well, brilliant. The two J's, another J, June is here too. You're all here, brilliant. Dawson and Darcy, hello. I don't get a chance to say hello to all of you. I am sorry, but I am very glad that you are here. We're going to have a very short story today, and we're going to have a few extra quizzes. So make sure you get your thinking caps on. Rose is here, Charlie and Ollie are here. Fantastic. Brilliant. Right. I don't know whether to start with this quiz right now. I'm going to, because it's kind of one that you can drop in anytime. Juliana's here, Pearl, JJ and Rosa here, Grace and Rosa here, fantastic. James and Laura, brilliant. Lots of you. Maybe you're all taking a rest from playing outside because it gets a bit tiring, doesn't it? Yesterday we went to a science festival, which was really exciting, and it made me realise how much learning about nature helps me in science and other scientific topics, because obviously nature studies is a science. But then we also went and played in the fountains that we have in our city centre. Well, when I say we, my kids played in it. I stayed as far back as I possibly could because I didn't want to get wet. And so we were pretty exhausted by the end of the day. Freddie's here, brilliant. Daisy's here, Eva's here. Well done, all of you, for coming. I'm really looking forward to chatting to you. We've only got a few Pathfinders left before the summer holidays. Now, I know homemakers don't necessarily have summer holidays, but we will be taking a little break there. Freddie's here and Oscar's here. Hi, it is great to see you. Right, let's start this quiz. So it's a little bit of a different one. We haven't done this before. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So it's called a rebus puzzle. So basically, some people might know these as dingbats. It's kind of a little puzzle, and you have to work out the word from looking at the visual clues. So for example, this is, well, look at it. It's the word drag, and then it's on fly. What could it be? Hi, Oscar. Hi, Norton. It's your first time here. Brilliant. Well, I am so glad you are here. Hi, Lily as well. Fantastic. You can shout out the answers for this, or you can just tell it to the grown-up next to you, or whisper it, or send it telepathically to me. A few of you have got it. Well done. It's a dragonfly because it's drag on fly. You get how it goes? So let's have a few of the others. We'll go a little bit quicker on some of them. Now, what could this be? Ethan's here. Brilliant. Hi, Ethan. What mini beast could these be? They're all mini beast things because that's what we've been learning about a lot recently. What could it be? It's lots of something, but I can't say the word. Oh, someone has guessed ticks. You are right. Ticks, which are tiny little insects that you sometimes find in the grass. You've got to make sure they don't stay on your skin. Fantastic. Something to do with mini beasts. So it's not necessarily the name of a mini beast, but what could this be? Apollyon. Very strange. Maybe there's a word in something else. Someone's getting close. Someone said pollen. Someone said antlion. Oh, this one's a tricky. I wonder if any of the grown-ups get it, because it took me a little while. Myland's here. Fantastic. Nice to see you, Myland. Anyone got it? So someone's guessed bees. I wonder if any grown-ups get it. Oh, a few people might be getting it now. Vivi's here. Hi, it's great to see you. It is pollination. So Paul was in Asian. So it's Paul in Asian. Okay, tricky. Somebody got it exactly right. A few people. Oh, Myla. I was going to say, I didn't think it was Myland. Myla, nice to see you. Yeah, so some of you are close. One of you got it right. Well done. I'm sure some others of you got it right at home. Right, this one took me a while because I had a practice of these beforehand. This one took me a while. It's the word cust. Think about where it is on the page, on that little green square, the light green square. Custard. That I would love some custard right now, but it's all to do with mini beasts, and I don't think I would like my mini beast mixed in with my custard. Oh, someone's got it, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Some of you might see it in the comments, but someone has got it. And it's a little bit linked to what we're learning about today as well. Oh, so you don't. So someone's just asked a question. Do you need to mute the background? No, so I can't hear anybody. I can't see anybody, but I can see any comments that you put. So you can sit back and enjoy. You can turn cartwheels, whatever you fancy. You can shout and it won't disturb anybody else. A few of you have got it now. Yep, it's locust because the cust was low down on the page. What about this one then? REMMIWS. The reason why I'm playing this is because one important skill when you're a nature explorer is observing. And sometimes you've got to really look carefully. You can't just kind of give one glance and think, yep, that's a ladybird. You've got to look closely. So someone has already worked out that it's the word swimmer backwards. But what the hell has that got to do with mini beasts? It is a back swimmer, which is a type of pond insect, a back swimmer. We were getting close there, weren't we? This one, what could it be? So now you've kind of got the idea. You can think about exactly how you need to look at these. You can get lots of these on the Twinkle website. I never even knew they existed, but I really like them. They make my brain think in different ways. And like I said, they make me look a little bit more carefully. Oh, a few people have got it. Yep, it's a stick insect. Fantastic. What about this one? Lots of creatures there. Ape, tiger, bear, which is smaller than all the others, lion, elephant. What could it be? This one I didn't get. I had to look at the answer for this one. So if any of you get it, I will be impressed. It is mini beast. Mini beast. And what could this one be? I thought this one was quite easy. What is this? It is bees. There were lots of bees there, wasn't there? And this one, I'm going to give you a clue here. You need to count. So I'll give you a few moments to do that. This is when it's really important to look carefully, to measure things. All these skills are fantastic if you want to explore. So some people have guessed ants, so you've got ant in there as well. What about that letter that's coming? It's a letter I. How many of them? Some people have got it. There are 10 I's, so it is antennae. Brilliant, those bits at the top of a lot of insects. This one, last one we're going to do. So really try and notice what you can see. It's really obvious in some ways, but you've got to look carefully. So a lot of people are guessing fly because that's what it is, but look more closely. Someone's got it. It is a green fly. Well done, everybody. So yes, looking and looking again is really important when it comes to nature explorations. So like I said, we're going to have a story today, but it is going to be a little bit shorter because we've got lots of quizzes and activities to throw in. And I also think this is a story that some of you might know. We've done Aesop's Fables before. We've got another one. And because we're doing all about grasshoppers today, it had to be, didn't it? The ant and the grasshopper. There are some pictures above me if you want to. Look at those, or you can just listen, just lay back and listen a bit. It is short, so if you're a grown-up and you want to go and get a cup of tea, you've got to be very quick for this one, or maybe get yourself a cold drink so you can be back in time for those 5 quick questions at the end. So it's called The Ant and the Grasshopper. In a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was relaxing, eating as much grass as he could. With his tummy full, he began to play some music. He hopped about, playing happily. You've got him there with his violin. Although if his tummy's full, hopefully he had a good rest and he's up and about playing his violin. Slowly, an ant passed by, carrying an ear of corn. That's a picture just above my head. "Why not come and sing with me?" called the grasshopper. "Nope," replied the ant. "I'm busy collecting food to prepare for the winter. I recommend that you do the same." "Why bother about winter," said the grasshopper. "We have plenty of food and it's a beautiful, a sunny day. Look, you can see the sun coming in, so bright." But the ant shook his head and went on his way. He continued with his hard work all day, walking slowly past the grasshopper with his corn. "What a silly ant," said the lazy grasshopper. "He should worry about winter when it's winter." When winter finally came and the snow was on the ground, the grasshopper, you've guessed it, had no food. The ant and his family had plenty to eat from the stores of grain he collected over the summer. "Please, can I have some of your food?" begged the grasshopper. "You can spare a little bit of corn." "No," shouted the ant. "You said I was silly." So the grasshopper was hungry all winter. He learnt a very hard lesson. Now, I'm sure some of you knew that story. It's fair, there are a lot of stories that have a similar kind of message, but let's have our questions. So we've got actually 4 speedy questions and then 1 question to think about. You can shout this out, you can type it, it's up to you. Here we go. What did the grasshopper do in the summer? I feel like I should hide these pictures above me. What did the grasshopper do in the summer? The grasshopper played, relaxed, chilled out, ate as much as he wanted. It actually sounds pretty sweet life, and I don't think it's wrong to do those things. But yeah, he did get into a bit of a problem, didn't he? Why did the ant work in the summer? Why did the ant work in the summer? There was a reason to keep on working. There he is with that ear of corn. Why did he work? He worked because he needed to prepare for winter. Well done, you're getting that right. He was thinking ahead a little bit. Next question. What did the grasshopper ask the ant at the end? What did he ask the ant? So at the beginning he said, come and play with me. But what did he ask at the end there? He said, give me some of your corn, please. Just a little bit. You can spare a little bit. But the ant didn't just say no. The ant shouted no. Did you hear that in the story? So here's the question. Was the ant right? Just go with your gut here. Yes, no, maybe. Was the ant right to reply that way? I'm curious as to what you think about this, because when I heard it, I don't know, I felt a little bit about the way that he answered. And sometimes if stories make you feel a bit uncomfortable, it means that it's something to think about. So, we've got a bit of debate going on. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. That is interesting. I think I can absolutely understand why the ant would say no. But is that going to be the best way for the grasshopper to learn? I don't know. And also sometimes we don't know the reason why people don't have food. So maybe, although he knew that the ant had maybe been a bit lazy, maybe he could have showed a little bit of compassion and kindness. Oh, Daisy said, clever. She said, if he said yes, he might want some more. So maybe the ant's like, I'm going to draw a boundary, because otherwise this grasshopper, because we know they're greedy, could have taken over. This is a tricky one, okay? And this is something that I don't even think there's a right answer for. But I did say we had 1 more question, and this is the one to be thinking about. So you don't have to answer this one. What are the truths in the story? So I'll tell you what Aesop said. Aesop said, work hard today to get ready for tomorrow. But I wonder if there's some other truths in there, maybe based on what we were talking about before. Because just because Aesop told that fable and said, this is what I think it should mean, it might teach you something else that you think is an important truth. Fantastic, everybody. I told you it was just a short story today because we've got lots to do. So let me get that question off, otherwise it'll confuse me. There we go. Now, we've done this before because we've talked about creatures that jump a lot, but grasshoppers are excellent jumpers. They don't actually kind of jump, they more catapult themselves across very large distances. So we're going to practice some jumping now. So if you need to make a bit of space, you can do it. If you just want to listen, of course you can do that. If you want to make a grown-up do it while you just chill out on the sofa, I absolutely concur with that. Do that. I'm going to show you some jumps, and we're just going to practice doing some jumps together. So I'm going to start off with one that I think you will all know. This is not what not a caterpillar. This is not what a grasshopper does. These are different ways we can jump. So we're going to start off with a star jump. So do a nice big star jump if you want. Try and clap at the top as well. Nice big star jump. Do a few of those. Excellent. This one, a bit trickier. This is called a half turn jump. So you need to stand, and when you jump, turn halfway. Okay, so you should be kind of facing back where you were before. So you're not trying to do a full spin. Have a go at doing a half turn jump. Look how nice and straight that body is in the middle as well. So, that's hard to point in the right place. Try and make your body really straight. When you jump, bend in your knees when you jump and land. I wonder if any grown-ups are doing this. If they are, let me know. And let's see what we've got next. A leap. A leap. Great for going over puddles. So you don't have to keep your feet together for a leap. See how far you can leap across the room. Please don't leap into a bookcase or the TV or anything like that. Use your common sense. Please, no one hurting themselves. But let's see some nice big leaps. Who can leap the furthest in your house? You or your grown-up? Next one, bunny hop. Basically, oh good, some grown-ups are jumping too. Excellent bunny hops. So nice down low and jump like a bunny. This is a bit like the grasshopper with those big, strong legs at the back. Our legs are more powerful for jumping than our arms, aren't they? So this is going to give you a nice big push forward. Hopping. Let's see you all hopping now. Try and stay on one leg for at least 10 hops, but if you need to swap, just swap. See what's next. A tuck jump. So as you jump up, I actually find this quite tricky. Try and tuck your body up a little bit, especially your knees up to your chest. So a tuck jump. And I wonder how many we've got left. Oh, we've got 2 left. Right, try and do a straight jump. So nice and straight. Keep your body like an arrow going straight up into the sky. Fantastic. And last one. Frog jump, which I think is when we last did these jumps, isn't it, when we're learning about frogs. So a frog jump there, which means your hands need to be between your legs there. Fantastic. Now shake it all off. Deep breath. You should be ready for a sit down now. We're going to learn a little bit more about grasshoppers by watching what I got up to on my nature walk this week. So sit comfortably, relax a little bit, and let's start. So yes, we're learning all about grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are an insect with their 6 legs and the exoskeleton and the head, the thorax and the abdomen. They're a special type of insect though called this, another word that I can't pronounce, and they're known for having their biting mouths and their really strong jumping hind legs. In a moment, me and my kids are heading over there to try and hunt for some grasshoppers in the meadow. Grasshoppers are really hard to spot. So ladybirds, in order to dissuade predators from eating them, are bright colours to kind of signify that they might be toxic. Grasshoppers go the other extreme. They camouflage so that predators can't find them. So they're those greens and browns, maybe a bit of yellow colour, so it might be tricky to find some. So grasshoppers can be about 1 centimetre length, which is about the width of my little finger, or they can be about 7 centimetres, which is about this long here. In Britain, they tend to be around about 1 to 3 centimetres long. So grasshoppers are obviously famous for their ability to jump. They have those really strong back legs that catapult them off. They can jump 200 times their own body length in distance. So kind of if you laid 2 giraffes on the floor, kind of toe to head, they would be able to jump possibly all the way over them, which is very impressive. So we took some colouring sheets out because that's a great way to think about the anatomy of the grasshopper, and we tried to blend those greens and browns together to make them camouflaged. So while my kids are playing over there, let's look at the anatomy of a grasshopper. We've got the abdomen, which is that segmented tail part. Woo! And inside there we've got the heart, and we've got most of the digestive system. A lot of the organs are protected in here. We have the antennae, which should be segmented, kind of bent here. That's where they can sense touch and where they can smell. We have the compound eyes, which are made up of lots of hexagonal lenses. We've got the head here, which has got the mouth at the front as well. We have these hind legs, so they're the big jumping legs. So it's got 6 legs, but these back 2 are very different. And we've got the mandibles. Ants have mandibles as well. These bits here. And they help them crush the food that the grasshopper eats. And they're very close to the palps. The palps are here, and they're the long segmented mouth parts that are found under the jaw, and they help grasp and move the food around. So these 2 are really important for eating. I'm just going to move them over here so we can put everything else on. We have the spiracles or spiracles, which are holes along here that they can breathe through. We have the thorax, and then a grasshopper has 3 different parts to its thorax. We've got those front legs here, 2 pairs of front legs, and of course we've got the wings there folded at the back. So off we went to explore the grass and grasshoppers. We got distracted by these pollen sacs. They are massive, aren't they? So we're exploring micro-habitats. We have the habitat of the woodland, but we're focusing right in on things like fungi or logs or these patches of grass to see what we can find. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen an old film where people are chewing on tobacco leaves and then they go and spit. Well, that is what grasshoppers do, and it's called tobacco juice, even though it isn't actually tobacco juice. But if they're feeling threatened, they can spit out a kind of brown liquid that scientists think is to repel predators, and it's called tobacco juice.
Grasshoppers are fantastic insects that are most active during the day, but they can also feed at night. Unlike other animals, they don't have nests or territories. Some species of grasshoppers go on long journeys in search of food, while most prefer to live alone.
Even though grasshoppers are really good at avoiding predators, they do get eaten. They're part of the natural food chain, so they might get eaten by spiders, snakes, birds, even mice. But there's one creature that is very pesky. There's a type of fly that will lay their eggs near grasshopper eggs, so that when the fly eggs hatch, the baby flies can come and eat the grasshopper eggs. They've even been known to lay their eggs on top of a grasshopper's back, so that when the flies hatch, they feast on the grasshopper itself. Lots of information there. So we're going to take a little pause, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the grasshopper's life cycle. Try and remember everything. 1, because it's interesting, but 2, I will be testing you a little bit later. But we're going to move a little bit. And you know the song that we've been singing recently to do the body parts of an insect? We've got head, thorax, abdomen, and we've done antennae. We're going to change that a little bit. We're going to add mandibles in. So it's going to go head, thorax, abdomen, get your big belly slaps in there. And then we're going to have mandibles and antennae. So the mandibles are those, well, we have one here. This is our mandible here, the bottom jaw that we move up and down to chomp our food. The grasshopper has ones that stick out just like ants as well. So I'm going to move my chair back so I can get my belly slaps in. So we're going to sing it to the tune of head, shoulders, knees and toes. But remember, we're going to mandibles and antennae. Are you ready? Deep breath. Check it out. Maybe do some skills. La 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 la. Perfect. Right, deep breath. Start off normal speed, then a little bit faster, and then super speedy at the end. So, head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, and mandibles and antennae. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Right, a little bit quicker. Not really, 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 really fast. Just a little bit quicker. Deep breath again. Focus, be the grasshopper. You are the grasshopper. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, and mandibles and antennae. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Now to super speedy. You cannot do, I've told you this before, you can't do blah, 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 and just pretend you've done it all. You've got to actually say the words, but as fast as you possibly can. Are we ready? No, I am not ready, but I'm going to do it anyway. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen, and mandibles and antennae. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Whew. That was quick. It's good to use music and song and the way your hands moved to remember those different parts of the anatomy of a grasshopper. Some of you have then found that last one a bit hard. I always do as well, and I did triple bunch some of those words. Now I've got to keep talking though, and you just get to listen. Whew. Right, we're going to talk about the metamorphosis of a grasshopper. Now, if you are very observant, and grown-ups might have observed this, the last 3 lessons were called magical metamorphosis. The next 2 lessons, so this one and next week, are called magical almost metamorphosis. And that almost is really important. So let's get into it. Get my little face up there, because I like to know that you can see me. So I'm going to be talking about metamorphosis. Remember, that's that kind of magical change almost that lots of insects go through. And there are 3 different types of metamorphosis. And I'm going to say the fancy names because sometimes it is nice to impress people by knowing the fancy names. We've got holometabolism there, where there's 4 different parts to that life cycle, like a butterfly. We've got hemimetabolism, where there's 3 different parts to that life cycle. And then we've got ametabolism. If A is in front of a word, it usually means without. So ametabolism means that there's not really metamorphosis happening. It just has one part of the life cycle that gets gradually bigger and bigger and older. So silverfish, you know, sometimes you might see those little tiny, they're not actually fish, little tiny insects like that one there. They don't go through metamorphosis really. They have ametabolism, which means they just gradually get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we know quite a lot, don't we, about complete metamorphosis, that first one on the list. It's got 4 different parts, like the egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, and the adult. So it has that pupa where it completely changes from one creature. I mean, it seems like it completely changes to an almost completely different creature. It is a really big change, but not all metamorphosis has that. So there's incomplete metamorphosis, and that's what happens with a grasshopper. And if you've got any questions, get your grown-up to type them in the comments and I will try and answer. So incomplete metamorphosis has 3 different parts. We've got the egg, we've got the nymph, and then we've got the adult. And there's a word there, instars, which I'll explain a little bit later. So a grasshopper has about 5 or 6 instars, but let's learn a little bit more about those eggs. So the life cycle of a grasshopper begins with those tiny eggs, and the female grasshopper lays her eggs usually in soil or plants, and it's normally during the warmer times. So that's what they'll be doing around about now. Now, these eggs are very small. They look there a bit like grains of rice. Usually, though, they are packed into what's called a pod. So as she puts the eggs into the soil, like you can see in this picture, she kind of uses stickiness, a sticky goo, to pack the soil around it. So almost, you know, like those Kinder eggs where you open it up and then there's a chocolate, there's a toy inside. It's almost like that, I guess, where the soil is packed around and then inside you have lots of those little eggs, but not chocolate ones. So someone's asking what the 3 metamorphosis is called. So that's incomplete metamorphosis, or was it hemimetabolism? I can send you information if anyone needs it at the end. So, yep, here she is putting the eggs into the soil. Here you can see the eggs coming out, but because the soil isn't soft, she isn't able to kind of fire inside because of the concrete, but you can clearly see those eggs coming out. Sometimes though, they might just pop them on a leaf. So you can see that pod there. So all the eggs are inside, and that sticky residue around it has come from the grasshopper as well. Next one, so someone asking what a nymph is. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about now. So when the grasshopper, in this case, hatches, it's a little nymph. I thought this was the cutest picture ever. Look at all those grasshoppers. So there are very tiny, I mean, they look very grasshopper-like. It's not like the caterpillar where it looks completely different than the adult form. It looks kind of like a grasshopper. So a nymph is that first part, well, second part, I guess, of the life cycle. This is really important though. I'm going to take my face off here. They don't have wings, so they can't fly, and there's no reproductive organs, so they can't make babies. So they are not fully an adult. They look kind of like a grasshopper, very much so, but they don't have those two important things. And that's what makes it incomplete metamorphosis, because the nymph isn't exactly like the adult, whereas if it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it would start off with wings and then those wings would get bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't. So it is very different than the adult, but it's not so completely different that you can't tell that they are matched. So that nymph gets bigger and bigger over time. Look, they're so cute. They are really adorable. You can see there are no wings there. And as it does, it goes through those instars, those different stages where it molts. So it sheds its skin and comes out a little bit bigger and a little bit different each time. So about 5 or 6 times it sheds its skin, it comes out a little bit more differently. Like this one, look, can you see those little wings on the back? So it's not quite an adult, but you can see that it's getting very, very close. And here we have the adult coming out. It's not coming out of a chrysalis, so that's just its skin that it's shed. You can see that really clearly, can't you, over there? I'll show you another picture of that. There it is. So it almost looks exactly like an insect. So it's not a cocoon like a bee has or a caterpillar has. So there it is, that it's emerging from its final stage, and now it's an adult grasshopper with those beautiful long wings, and if it wants to, it can make babies as well. Usually though, they wait, and sometimes wait a little bit further until it's even warmer to lay their eggs. Sometimes they even hibernate before they do that. But let's have a look at those grown-up ones. I just think they are so beautiful. Look at the patterns on those legs. It's almost like someone has painted on the patterns. And you can see that thorax with its different parts and its kind of hard exoskeleton. The exoskeleton is what it pops off every time that it molds and goes through those different stages. There's another one. And look at this one here. I just think the closer you look at them, the more you look at them, the more beautiful they are, which I never would have thought I would have said about grasshoppers. So that is a lot about incomplete metamorphosis. And someone asked about those proper names again. So let's just get that up. Now, hang on, I need to skip through these sides because knowing those fancy names does impress people. So it's hemimetabolism. Hemimetabolism is what you call it when it's incomplete, and holometabolism is when it's the full complete metamorphosis. All right, so lots to learn about there. We're going to have a quick quiz to see what you remembered there. So I'm going to get that quiz up, and then we're going to look to see what you've been making in this last week. Someone's asked, do some grasshoppers glow? Do you know, I'm not too sure. I know some of them were so like translucent almost that when the sun was shining through that green, it looked like it glowed. There are definitely some grasshoppers that are kind of lots of different colours. I saw a picture of a beautiful red grasshopper, but I don't think in Britain any of them glow, but that's something that definitely you could be researching. I will too. Anyway, let's get this quiz up. Just need to share my screen. Here we go. Check the right one. There we go. Hopefully you can all see it. You might even be able to hear it. So, there are missing words here. Grasshoppers are they arachnids, a type of pizza, mammals, amphibians, or insects? What do you think? Now, I can't see your comments coming up when I'm sharing the screen, but I will give you a little bit of time. Now, you might think one of these answers is really silly, but actually, some people do eat grasshoppers. So, grasshoppers they are insects. There we go, we got that one right. So here's the missing word. Are a series of holes located along both sides of the abdomen that grasshoppers use for breathing. Are they ammonites, lungs, spiracles, breathing holes, or antennae? There's some fancy sounding words in there. What could it be? We only have a few seconds before we've got to put it in. It is spiracles or spiracles. There we go. Yes, got it right. When a grasshopper feels threatened and is picked up, it has a unique defense mechanism. It spits a brown liquid called at its attackers, like ants or other predators. What is that brown liquid called? Is it Yuccius brownicus? Is it tobacco juice? Is it toxic spray? Is it prime? Or is it melanin? Which could it be? Shout out the answer if you want. You don't have to type if you don't want to. It is tobacco juice, even though it's not actually tobacco juice. That's just what people think it looks like. Yeah. Grasshoppers have some natural predators that consider them a tasty snack. Enemies of grasshoppers include beetles, birds, mice, snakes, and what could the other one be? Is it cats? Is it rabbits? Is it Lord Garmadon? Is it spiders? Or is it ladybirds? There might be more than one right answer, but have a think of what seems the most likely. It is spiders. And we've got our last one coming up. Locusts are grasshoppers that can form massive groups called. So these can be a big challenge because locusts eat a lot of plants and crops. So if you have a big group of them come, I think you said the word, big group of them come, they can just completely strip the farm and the fields, which is a big problem, obviously, for farmers. But what are those groups, massive groups called? Are they called gangs, swarms, armies, pop groups, or plagues? Which one is it? It is swarms. If you got that, well done. Brilliant. Let's see how many we got. We got 5 out of 5. Well done, everybody. Brilliant. So let's think about making it now. Oh, I can see a lot of you have got that right. Now, some of you guessed plagues. That's because a swarm of locusts is kind of considered a plague. A plague is a bigger word for kind of a big thing that affects everybody and causes lots of problems. And in a lot of stories, like in the Bible, there's about a Bible story about locusts coming in, and it's one of the plagues, and it completely strips the land of Egypt of the food and the crops. So yes, sometimes plagues, I think I would have accepted that as an answer because I'll often consider that. So let's see what I made for my Scraptastic task this week. I'm going to show you. Oh, shall I show you? Well, I've already half shown you. I'll show you now. We'll do the video and then we'll do a bit of show and tell after that. So this is what I made, a collage here, and you might be able to spot the grasshopper there. And here I have another mini one that I made. So this one is one, again, that's all about the process. It's about how you enjoy making it. So I'm going to show you my process so that if you want to have a go at making this week, one of these this week, you can have some tips from what I did, and then I'll see what you've been up to. I was looking for ideas. I found this painting by Yvonne Barlow that she made in the 1960s. I really love the colour and the boldness of it. And at the same time, someone gave me a bunch of old magazines that a library was going to throw out, so I decided to make a collage based on this picture. I split the picture down into 4 quarters, and then I looked at the different shapes because if I was cutting out paper, I needed it to be fairly simple. And I just highlighted the things that I wanted to make sure my picture had. Once I'd done that, I sorted out my bits of paper that I'd already taken out of the magazines into different colours so that it would be easier when I was coming to put my picture together. as I was looking through the paper, this cut caught my eye because the shape of it is exactly like a grasshopper wing, so I put that aside. Then I started just to cut out some big shapes to stick on my piece of cereal box there that I've got. And I thought I needed to get my background covered so there was no white showing. So I used some blues to get that sky in. And then I started to think about what shapes I was going to put on. I used curved shapes for all my green bits because I wanted it to look really natural. So as you can see, I'm now working on that top quarter where it had those leaves coming off the stalk. So I just simply went with colours and shapes that I liked. And I didn't overthink it. This is all about the process. Then I'm doing that big flower and I wanted a nice bright colour. So I've got this orange and I tore the paper here so it made a nice effect at the top. And then to make those circles, I just tore little bits of the brown paper as well. Then I moved on to some of the other shapes, and again I wanted bright colours, and I was more inspired by the rough ideas of the picture that Yvonne Barlow did, because I found these pieces of paper that I really wanted to use, and so I just kind of put them together in shapes that I liked. So I took the ideas that she had, but I made them my own. I realised as well as I could double up the paper if I wanted to add a little pop of colour into some of those greens. I wanted to add the layers of the soil here, and I'm using that tearing technique so that you can see almost like the outline of each layer. Honestly, I was a little bit worried about making the grasshopper because it seems such a complicated insect. So again, I just broke it down into shapes, and I tried to use browns because I wanted it to be camouflaged. I wanted you to look a little bit more closely into the picture to see the grasshopper, rather than it be nice and bold and jump out at you. Now you might want to add some more details. You could do that by drawing over the top with pastels or crayons, or you could even sew patterns over the top. But this is what I finished off with. What do you think? So that was a bit of my process, and then I did enjoy just cutting up those pieces of paper. So like I said, I did make a small one there that's got a snail on the bottom here. But yeah, this is what I ended up with. And I didn't buy anything new. This is just cardboard from a cereal box and then some of those newspapers cut up. I even cut up some old paintings that I didn't want anymore that I'd done before. So that's another thing that you can do. But just spend a bit of time collecting any bits of paper that you want, whether it's from packaging, whether it's a magazine or a newspaper you can pick up off the bus. There are lots of different places you can find paper without buying it, and then you can mix it together. But let's see what you've done this week. Lots of Minecraft stuff happening when we did about ladybirds. So Rose here has done a beautiful ladybird there with lots of squares. I like the kind of cubism on it. Pearl has done one and she's labelled it as well. Look, antennae, head, thorax, legs, abdomen. You're so clever to be able to do this on Minecraft, all of you. Well done. Coral, she's only 4. Look what she did. Isn't it amazing? I love it. Look at all those legs as well. Fantastic. And JJ has done another one there, and he then built up the layers there. You can see kind of 3 layers of that ladybird to make it that curved shape. Very clever. Oh, hang on, I pressed the wrong button there. Let's get it back. Brandon there's got another one that has done it like a tower as well. Love that, Brandon. Well done. Aaron, we might say Aaron, I don't know, some people say Aaron, but Aaron has his butterfly t-shirt that he made from our butterfly week. Love the symmetry, love the colours, and I love that it's on a t-shirt so you can literally take your art on a walk around. And Felicity did her very first lap book. So a lap book is basically putting all the things that you've learned in one place that you can sit on your lap, I guess, and then open it up and explore it anytime you want. So she's done lots of stuff about ladybirds. Well done, Felicity. For her first lap book, that is stunning. Well done. And then we've got lots of lovely pictures here from Butterfly Week. She's been doing butterfly mathematics up there as well, doing some doubling. Fantastic. And I love the antennae over here. Lovely and curly on that nature butterfly. Tyler and Zach have been busy doing butterflies as well. Not butterflies, sorry, ladybirds as well. We've got a papier-mâché butterfly there. Why do I keep saying butterfly? Oh, honestly, it must be the sun. Ladybird. And then we've got a brilliant drawing there of an anatomically correct or drawing of a ladybird, but maybe with a few extra legs. I like that though, it can run really fast. Bella's been on Minecraft again. Love this. And yet we've got a symmetrical amount of dots there. Excellent. Another one here from Dougie. Fantastic. And they've got those, you know, it has almost like pretend eyes, those big white bits, and then the little actual eyes at the front. Very well done. Matthew has been out on a walk there. He met a squirrel, I think, that tried to befriend him and found some ladybirds. I actually found a ladybird with no spots on this week, so I was quite excited about that. Phoenix made a papier-mâché ladybird, just like this one that I made the other day. Brilliant, very busy, and we've got a purple ladybird in Minecraft as well. Well done. I always get out of breath talking about all of these because you've got so many amazing things. Juliana has got a lovely, I think I might have shown this last week, I might have left this picture in, but it's worth having another look at it. Look at it with the beautiful sewn bees. Zarek, Gaze, Quinn and Ayla have been very busy. Now I hear that the bee shoots fireworks out of its bottom. Now, whether that's actually something that can happen in nature, I don't know, but I think it's an excellent idea as long as you're standing at the right end of the bumblebee. But I really like that idea. Well done. I think that was Quinn and Ayla that thought of that idea. And Laura, look at that beautiful stone. It's so symmetrical and so beautifully round. I love it. Set in the shell there with that ladybird. Lily wrote a poem about ladybirds. I'm going to read that to you now. There is a little ladybird. It flies very high into the sky. Off it fled. Its spots are so red. They can also be orange or yellow. I love poems that share a bit of science and are really lovely to listen to as well. Well done, Lily. And Hannah has done a beautiful, she's sewn her ladybird there. That buttons for the eyes, fantastic. And Lucas did an anatomically correct drawing of a ladybird as well. I hear it was very good, so well done, Lucas. Freddie has got a very fluffy bumblebee there. I love it. It makes me just want to touch it. I really like it, very tactile. Ava has been making a mini beast hotel and she's already got some spiders that are having a nice vacation in there. Fantastic. So this is what you can do this week. You can make a collage, just like I did, based on a nature painting. So you can find a famous picture and you can make a copy of it yourself. Or if you want to just do a kind of random one of your favourite mini beast, make sure I've got that the right way around, then you can do that too. You can do it big or you can do it small, however you want. You could explore some micro habitats when you're out. So instead of thinking about the big picture of what can I find in this big woodland, try and focus on little micro habitats, like what could be under this stone, because you'll often find lots if you look and then look again. And then obviously add some grasshoppers to your virtual world. I think this one might be complicated because there's so many different bits and pieces to it. So if you manage that, I would love to see it. So as always, it has been absolutely fantastic hanging out with you. I'm out of breath. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea and then go and enjoy the sunshine. I hope you have a great week and I will see you next time. May the paths you explore be full of wonder and the skies you play under be peaceful. May the treasures you find be plentiful and the mysteries you unfold be many.